Hi guys, it's Pooh21, Jen here again. It's Sunday, May 22nd at 3:47 p.m. This is my second video today. This one is on a totally different topic. So I have a little notebook here if you keep seeing me looking down. I have some notes this time on what I want to talk about instead of sitting here for the whole conversation going, like I usually do. I want to first start off by saying this to Aussie lap band girl, Nicole. Hi, how are you? You're one of the newbies. I want to talk to you first of all and telling you that you are also stunning. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not. Every one of us is beautiful in our own way, whatever way, we all are. So don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not. And I wanted to comment back to you on when you were saying how people are always like, oh, you have such a pretty face, and you know, only if you were thinner. You are not the only one to ever hear that comment. I hear it all the time. From doctors, from clients, from whoever. Oh, but you have such a pretty face. But you have such a pretty face. I hate that comment. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. I don't even know where else to go with that, but I hate it. Okay. So, what else? Another thing. I want to tell everybody that I am super excited, and part of my push for my journey is my brother, my little brother I should say, is finally getting married October 2012. So not this October, but next October he is getting married. And I call her my sister-in-law now because she's been in the family for so many years, but my sister-in-law asked me to be in the wedding party, so I will be a bridesmaid. And I do not want to be the only fat bridesmaid. I'm sure all of you have been in my situation before. I was in my best friend's wedding last year, and I look back on those pictures, and I'm like, I hate every one of the pictures. I'm the biggest girl in the wedding party, and I absolutely hated it. And I don't want that to be the situation again. I want to be able to walk into whatever store she chooses us to buy our dresses from and have an assortment of dresses to choose from. Not just, oh, this is the only dress I fit into. Because from what I understand, she's just going to pick the color and we get to choose the style of the dress that fits our body type the best. Love that. But I want to be able to have my array of choices of dresses to pick from instead of this is the only one that comes in your size. Also, yes, my brother. Let's discuss my brother for a second. My brother is going to be 30 this year. Yes, well, February, so technically next year. My brother is 6'1" and weighs approximately maybe 130 pounds soaking wet. He is skinny, 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 skinny. You can count every single little tiny mark on his spine. That is how skinny he is. And he has always been this skinny. I hate him for it. I remember growing up as a teenager. I walked in the kitchen one day and there was this giant container on the counter, and I said, What is that? And my mother goes, oh, your brother bought weight gainer. Mind you, here I am on a diet trying to lose weight, and here's my brother trying to gain weight. But believe it or not, most of my brother's life, he actually hated being as skinny as he was, because he felt that he was too skinny. Do you imagine that? I always tell everybody, yeah, he got all the metabolism, I got none of it. That's why he's so skinny and I'm not. But anyway, so that's a little bit about my brother. Maybe one of these days I'll throw a picture up there of him, just to show you how skinny he is. Let's see. Another thing, I did not realize how heavy I really was until this past winter. Here's a situation. Did you ever kind of look at somebody that you know, or maybe that you don't know that well or whatever, and you're always kind of like, oh, you know, we're probably about the same weight, about the same size, Or maybe they're a little bit heavier than me because you're not really seeing who you really are in the mirror. Well, that's me. I guess I truly never saw myself in the mirror. Went to one of my favorite clothing stores over the winter, and I saw this really cute shirt that I wanted. It was made out of like a really clean type of material, so it's not that I don't fit in their larger size in the store. I usually do. But this type of material shirt was a little different, so it was very snug. And when I tried on the larger size, it was not a pretty sight. It was just, yeah, you can't buy that shirt. So about a week or so later, I happened to bump into this person, and they have the shirt on. Not only do they have the shirt on, they have the shirt on over another shirt. And I was like, wow. So, first of all, I know they didn't buy the shirt in the biggest size that the store sold it in. And second of all, they had a bulky shirt under it. And I was like, wow. They aren't really the same size as me. They are much, much smaller than me. What have I been seeing in the mirror? And that's when it hit me. Girlfriend, it is time to really think about the weight situation. So I don't know if that's ever happened to any of you, that you don't really see in the mirror what I guess everybody else really is seeing. But that happened to me this winter, and it was scary. So I'm going to touch base a little bit on some sticky situations, or not really sticky situation. I guess a tough topic to talk about. Being bullied or being made fun of. I went to the same grammar school for 8 years, grades 1 through 8, and it was a nightmare of my entire life. I would say probably from about 3rd or 4th grade till 8th grade, I was made fun of every single day of the school year. There was not one day that went by that I did not, basically in my mind, get tortured. September would roll around, and starting school, I would cry the night before on what name are they going to come up with me, for this year. And whatever name they pick is the name that stuck for the entire year. I've had itching powder thrown on me at school. I had a boy kind of hit me in the face at school. A lot of not nice things happen at school. I wasn't the only person who got what I feel tortured, but there were a few others, but it's not the point. And you know what? And it's not even that I was really that heavy back then. I really wasn't, if you look back on pictures, but I was chubbier than most of the kids in the class. So, of course, they're going to pull me out of everybody else and make fun of me the most. And I really feel that what they did to me really, it really damaged who I think I was supposed to be. And I think psychologically it did something to me that made me, I think, eat more. Because I just got heavier and heavier after that. And, you know, I really think about these people now, and I think to myself, you know, you're probably married and have kids now. You know, what would you do if you found out that your daughter was being made fun of every day? Or your son was being bullied every day? You know, like, do they even think back to then and think to themselves, wow, what did I do to that person every day? Like, I don't think they understand the effect that they have on people's lives for doing that. And what kind of a domino effect that makes on someone's life, because that, what they did to me every day, you know, made a domino effect for the rest of my life. Because first of all, I think it led to my overeating, and being depressed. Excuse me. I also feel that, you know, it hurt me in a lot of my relationships too. You know, I was really afraid to start high school. I went to a completely different high school than any of the kids were going to, because I did go to a Catholic school. So I was very happy when I ended that relationship and decided I'm not going that route. Excuse me. And I started myself a whole new life in high school. And I have to say, high school was a lot better than grammar school. I did not get picked on at all. I met my best friend there, And at first I kind of sort of tried to push her away because I thought she was like making fun of me in a way, when I didn't realize she was really trying to be my friend. But that's because I was still so messed up in the head. And she really did over the years teach me, you know, stop worrying about what other people think about you. You know, only worry about what you think about yourself, you know. And in the beginning of high school, I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to go to the movies. I just didn't want to go anywhere in fear of bumping into these people that used to make fun of me and having to deal with that humiliation outside of school. But she taught me to kind of overcome all that, which I'm grateful for. And, you know, I feel like what they did to me kind of like ruined even my first love. I met this guy about my freshman year of high school, and he lived far. I want to say he lived about 2 hours from here, and he would take the train and the ferry and another train to come see me. And, you know, he would stay the weekend or whatever. And he really did love me, and I didn't even know that at the time, because I just felt, well, how can somebody who is skinny, or thinner than I should say, be in love with someone who looked like me? Because at that time I didn't know that there were guys who were into bigger girls, or guys that just didn't care about that. You know, I always felt that there was I always felt that because I got made fun of by people who were what I considered the pretty people, that all pretty people in a way almost kind of skeeved heavy people, or didn't want to associate with heavy people. So I couldn't really, you know, I couldn't overcome the whole situation of how this person cared for me, and if it was a joke or not. And it really, really hurt my relationship with him, and because I couldn't overcome the whole thing. I just really never could. And it got to a point where I kept pushing him away and pushing him away and pushing him away until it came down to where he was gone. And I do regret that, you know. But things happen for a reason, and, you know, I was no longer with that person, and I moved on through relationships and learned from every one of them. And now I'm with my husband, and we have a daughter together. But, you know, I wanted to know if anybody else had, you know, dealt with things like that, you know, with anything with that. What else do I want to talk about? It takes a lot for me to come on here and say a lot of this, I want to let you know, but I just feel like I think I would rather come on here and tell you guys than go sit in a shrink's office of somebody who's probably not heavy, never has been heavy, and won't understand the things that I've dealt with through my life. You know, whereas I feel you guys will, because we're all on the same journey together. I don't really know what else to say, but I'm gonna end the video now because I just realized that it's 13 minutes long. I don't want to have to re-edit another video into 2 parts. You guys will kill me. So, alright, I'm gonna end this here and say, you know, have a good rest of the weekend to everybody, and I can't wait to hear from you all. Bye.